Hello, this is T.R. Johnson with Fear versus Feelings. I recently went into the home of a former Detroit prostitute and recovering drug addict. She's giving 36 minutes of riveting audio testimony on what it's like to live in the streets of Detroit as a prostitute and a drug addict. You don't want to miss out on this groundbreaking audio. There is very violent language involved in this. Parental discretion is advised, so be advised before you listen to this audio. It is very graphic. Hello, this is T.R. Johnson. I'm here with Janet. She's a recovering drug addict and prostitute, and she wants to
just put it out there, huh?
Tell her story with everyone. I'm sitting here live in her apartment in Metro Detroit.
I live in Hazel Park.
Out of Hazel Park, outside of Detroit. But she spent most of her life in Detroit, raised in Detroit, in a good home. Tell us something about your addiction. What got you started?
Actually, I got me on it. Because, see, a lot of people think it's from your neighborhood. You know, this is where you grew up at, and, you know, this is what happening, but that ain't so. It's not really about that. Because I didn't get on until I was like 30. I hadn't had 3 kids. I had a beautiful home, a boat, a car. Had just bought another home across the street. And being friendly with my neighbor. And she kept telling me to try it. It ain't gonna hurt you, Janet, just try it. I'm like, well, fuck it, I tried. And after that, it was all a wrap.
So it just took you one time to get hooked?
It took me one time to get hooked. But though, is you ready for this? I was chasing that same first hit for 23 years and never found it. So, I mean, I figured maybe, you know, after 23 years, I never found it. I don't think I'm going to find it, do you? So I just said, well, you know what? I'm going to cut it out. So 2006, I walked myself into an outpatient treatment center. And I was kept setting my mind, I know they're going to lock my ass up. Because I had been in so many treatment centers till they didn't want me no more. Because I did a lot of scandalous stuff in them treatment centers, and they didn't want me no more. So I was so surprised that this particular outpatient treatment center wanted me, but it was a glitch. That I had to stay in a certain place to show them that I really wanted to be clean before they let me actually consider myself as being in treatment. Because of all of the wreckage that I've caused in all of the other treatment centers.
What type of wreckage were you?
Being in there still high. Being in there still high. Being in there using the niggas out of their gratuity money. Being in there getting the niggas to have they outside people buy my clothes and shoes. Just another form of prostitution. But I was doing it in a prison. All right, nigga, I'll meet you in the bathroom tonight. That's how that go. You know, you get your 2 seconds. Let's do this because I got 2 more out there waiting.
Right.
That's how it was
in
the treatment center. And every week, I would get they $3, and then every week, one of them would have their mama or their brother or their sister drop me some fresh-ass gym shoes off, nice coat, clothes, you know, because I knew my people weren't going to do this for me.
Right.
Not at all, you know, because by this time, I'm using, but, you know, I made an executive decision on who I wanted to raise my children. And for that, my mom stopped liking me. You see what I'm saying?
So who wanted to raise your children? Who did you want to raise your children?
I wanted my children's godparents to raise them. And that's who raised them.
Okay.
And for that, my mom got upset. You met my kids' godparents, the Whites. Okay, and for that, she got totally upset. Because I even let them adopt my son. But I didn't let them adopt my son and take his name. They just added their name so that they would have someone to carry their name on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And my mother got very highly upset about that. All they want to do is somebody carry their name on. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, what is they doing for my mom and my dad? They done put brand new windows in their house, brand new porch, furniture from front and back, and all the money that she was giving my mother was not putting it on my children. She was putting it on my sister's children. So my children were still going without. So when I seen that, I had to take a break from the streets and get high to make sure that their godparents had them.
So, what do you mean take a how did you take a break from the streets?
I had to take a break. Like I said, I stayed over. I took my kids from my mom's house because she didn't have custody of them, so I go get them until I wanted them.
Hmm.
So I went and got my kids from my mom's house.
Hmm.
Took them to my godparents' house. Took them to their godparents' house.
Hmm.
And the following Monday, we went down. We got the paperwork. We filed it. Then we took it over to the bank. We got a notary public on it, a seal on it. Then we took it back and turned it in, and then they were legal guardians. So I had, that was, to me, that was a vacation. I mean, that was, that whole process took me like 3-4 days.
Hmm.
So that's 3-4 days. I ain't had no money. I ain't get high. I didn't do nothing.
Hmm.
So I really wasn't feeling right.
Hmm.
So then I thought to myself, I said, but damn, if I could go 3-4 days, I wonder how long can I really go? I get a treatment center. It's more dope in the treatment center than it was out on the street.
Hmm. Like it was like legal drugs or just drugs?
Well, illegal, and motherfuckers was getting in there illegal.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, it had, to me, treatment center was a big ass place that you want to go to in the wintertime where you're going to get your 3 meals in a cot
Hmm.
and you get a better chance of getting high because the nigga going to want you to steal him something from the kitchen. And he might got some dope.
Hmm.
Or he might got some money on his books. And see, cash money in treatment centers and in prisons ain't no good. You got to use your commissary.
So,
That's what's good, you know what I'm saying? Because I went to the penitentiary too, doing my addiction. So, cash money is not good in the treatment center.
so in
Your
the
commissary
in the
is.
treatment center in the wintertime, that's when a lot of people go because
That's
they
when
want to
it's
go to the
hard to
street.
get in bed because that's where a lot of people go because they want to get warm.
Hmm.
And then the weather's starting to break, like March, April, they fade away.
So they just really just in the treatment center not to get help,
They in
but
there to get warm
to get warm
and to get fed
and get fed.
and to get some hand-me-down clothes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
man. And you, like, how many times did you go to the treatment center?
I was in the treatment center 15 times.
15 times. And this is mostly in the wintertime?
Each time I went was basically in the winter, some in the summer, and then I went one time for my sister, then I went one time for my kids, went one time for my mama, went one time for my boyfriend, but I never went for me, until I got ready.
Hmm.
So when I went for me, this shit worked.
Okay.
That's how I knew it worked,
Hmm.
because I went for me.
Now, what made you go for you?
I went for me because I knew that the dope man was going to kill me.
Hmm.
That's number one. And then I just got tired.
Hmm.
So I was living with a dope man and over on Joy Road in Alaska.
Hmm.
And I took all his dope, all his money, all his jewelry,
Mhm.
to the keys to his car when he was knocked out.
Hmm.
I rode, I got high, sold all his jewelry, everything. Sold his car
Mhm.
to the bump shop car place, everything. Got on the bus, got on the Joy Road bus. I rode until it stopped,
Hmm.
which was downtown Detroit.
Hmm.
And then I just started walking. And I walked up to Peterborough and Woodward.
Hmm.
And, I turned a couple of tricks along the way
Hmm.
and got to Peterborough and Woodward. And they didn't have no beds in that treatment center.
Hmm.
They sent me around the corner to the NSO.
Hmm.
And they don't have beds. They have what you call chairs, like a regular chair like that.
Mhm.
Or just a regular chair you could sit in and sleep in.
Right.
And I stayed up in that motherfucker. Demar, when I tell you I stayed up in there, I know over 60 days
Hmm.
why the treatment center make a decision on me. Because they didn't want to take me. They didn't want. They was like, we, you know,
Because your rep was solidified at that point. Yeah.
yes, yeah, you know, and like when you blackball yourself from a treatment center,
Hmm.
you know, you fucked up,
Hmm.
you know. But they didn't want to be bothered with me.
Hmm.
And there was one treatment center that took me, and it was an outpatient treatment center, and I'm like, but I need inpatient, and they was like, you get an income,
Hmm.
because I was on Social Security, you get an income,
Hmm.
you got medical insurance, and you get food stamps.
Hmm.
Find your place.
Hmm.
Show us how bad you want this.
Hmm.
Show us that you really want to stay clean. I moved in a three-quarter house I say about 6 blocks from the outpatient treatment center I was going to. It was on Shane and Canfield.
Hmm.
And I guess in the three-quarter house, and everybody in there relapsed.
Hmm.
The manager relapsed. The house lady relapsed. The girl that goes shopping relapsed. The cook relapsed. And I'm just looking at all them relapse and how dumb they look. And I'm like, well, damn. If I relapse, I'll be looking like that. I don't want to look like that no more.
So you saw, like,
I
when
saw all
you was
this.
clear.
I was clear. I saw all this.
Hmm.
I saw it.
You was
You
like,
know,
man, I was looking like that.
That. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If I relapse, I'm gonna go back to that.
Hmm.
And I don't want to go back to that. I done already left that. I'm trying to get someplace different.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, so then the lady who owned the house, Belinda Ebbio, she winded up putting me in charge of her whole business.
Hmm.
And I ran that business.
Hmm.
I made her plenty of money
Hmm.
in that business.
Hmm.
And then I had a fiance, and Darren Bush, that heavyset guy right there.
Hmm.
And this guy, he never raised his voice at me. He never put his hands on me or anything. But he took care of me while I was in that treatment center, made sure I had everything I needed and everything I wanted. He took real good care of me. And then I talked with him on a Saturday. We both was in treatment. We both had 18 months.
Hmm.
I had talked with him on a Saturday.
Hmm.
And Sunday when I got out of church, I was going down to pick the money up to put it down on the house. And I got a phone call saying that he had died in the treatment center.
Wow.
And it was just horrible. It was, my whole world was, and I called my daughter. I have a daughter who lives in Kentucky. And I called her. And I told her what the deal was. And she said, Mama, your son-in-law on his way to get you. Now, mind you, where they live in Kentucky, it's a 6.5-hour drive. He made it here in 5 hours.
Wow.
He got here and got me. They got me away from there quick.
Because they didn't want you to relapse?
They didn't want me to relapse.
Uh-huh.
But what they didn't know was
Hmm.
I wasn't going to relapse.
Hmm.
That made me stronger.
Hmm.
Because if I could handle that, then I knew I could handle just about anything that came my way. Okay? Because I had never had nobody like him in my life.
Right.
Never.
Right.
And when I tell you that boy did the beyond for me, I've never had nobody like that. And so, you know, so she was like, well, Mom, you just come on down here and yada yada. I said, okay. I get down there. Now, that's that relapse shit down there.
Hmm.
Because she wanted me to pay all the bills
Hmm.
and have nothing while they do what they want to do with their money. I said, no, I'm on my way back to Detroit.
Hmm.
And I came back and I picked my life up. Right back here is where I've been. February the 8th, I have 18 years of not getting high.
Uh-huh.
And when you got 18 years of not getting high, you got some time on you.
Yeah.
And you got enough time to think about what you really want to do.
Hmm.
So I knew that I've always wanted nice things.
Hmm.
I knew that, and I had all that, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
You know, just to divert off the subject a little bit, because I'm interested in knowing, because you used to what you call it, turn tricks.
Yeah.
And that's a guy. The guy is called a trick.
Mhm.
What, in your experience, what kind of, you know, I like to do, personality evaluations and stuff
Mhm.
like that. What type of guy that out there that like to do tricks with
Let me tell you.
random women on the street?
Let me tell you about that. Demar, I met a few guys out there that took literally care of me,
Hmm.
and they had wives.
Hmm.
And I mean, they made sure I ate every day.
Hmm.
They made sure I had an outfit every day.
Hmm.
They made sure I had face cloth and soap every day.
Hmm.
And they only came to see me on their payday,
Hmm.
for sex,
Hmm.
and paid me swell.
Hmm.
Then I met guys that put me up in their house,
Hmm.
where they lived at actually with their wives,
Uh-huh.
and put me up in their house.
Uh-huh.
And I lived there, and they took good care of me.
Hmm.
And then I've had guys that actually just beat me every day,
Hmm.
you know. But, you ask me what type of guy. It takes a guy that's really not getting what he wants at home.
Hmm.
Or he's not getting, I'm going to say, enough of what he wants at home, might not.
Hmm.
Or what he got at home, it probably done hit him that she ain't enough for me.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But though she got to be something because you're not leaving her.
Hmm.
So something got to be right with her because you're not leaving her.
Right.
You know, or if something got to be wrong with her because you got me living here with you and her.
Hmm.
With my dumb ass and I'm living there.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think it's a lot of these guys, they wasn't getting their dick sucked at home.
Hmm.
So they found somebody out there to do it.
Hmm.
So who's better to do it than a prostitute?
Hmm.
Who know how to do it better than a prostitute?
Hmm.
Some prostitutes can't suck dick, but some can.
Hmm.
And it's like whatever I did out there, I mastered it.
Hmm.
So that I could keep getting that money because that was my job.
Right.
So I had to get good at it.
Right.
So I got good at it.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I had got kidnapped
Hmm.
by this guy.
Hmm.
And he really, really, really liked it me. I know this motherfucker liked it me.
Hmm.
He kidnapped me, locked me in a room. Do you know that he made me learn how to suck dick? He made me learn how to suck dick. And then he became my pimp for a minute.
Hmm.
And then I got him out the way.
Hmm.
Now you gotta get on out my way. He got out of my way.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm getting ready to go do what I need to do. So I knew that I wasn't going to hit that street if I wasn't going to make me $200 right off the rip.
Hmm.
So I had to look like $200 out there.
Right.
And that's what I did every day. I mastered it.
Your presentation.
I mastered it.
Hmm.
It was down to the ground.
Hmm.
I was able to turn tricks with preachers,
Hmm.
and it was successful. And then go to their church the next Sunday
Hmm.
and put my hand in their tilt, and they was okay with it.
Hmm.
I was able to turn tricks with old ass apartment building men owners, and their wife lived in that door, and I'm living in that door.
Hmm.
And she thinking I'm just another tenant. It was a mess.
Hmm.
My life was horrific.
Hmm.
It was a real mess. It's just it's just so much happened to me, like the being raped by the same motherfucker 5 times in a row. 5 different nights, and my dumb ass got in the car with him. I don't know why.
But like you went in the car with him 5 different nights.
Yeah, and I know it was this motherfucker.
Hmm. Set up that.
You want me to say that again? Let me say that again. Okay, I'm gonna say it right. It was on a Sunday. This guy picked me up. We turned a date. I'm getting ready to get out. He snatched me from behind and said, "Bitch, give me my money."
Hmm.
So I threw the money at him.
Hmm.
But it was $1. Okay, because I had a lot of that going on, so I've always kept a bought $1.
Hmm.
So when a trick give me my $40 or $50, that bought $1 be in my hand, but they never know how much it is. So and then when I'm grabbing, say, "Bitch, give me my money. I'm gonna throw your money, and I'm gonna get out of your car, and I'm gonna start running."
Hmm.
So then he got me the next night. I got him again with $1. He said, "Bitch," he said, "Nah, I want my whole 100 back.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't finna get that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay. Got in the car with the motherfucker the next night. I got in the car with this motherfucker the next night. And then the next night and the next night. And I'm like, fuck it, you could just have a pussy. You know, I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I done lost my motherfucking mind. And he ain't bothered me no more. He ain't bothered me no more because all he wanted somebody to do was give him something. So I just gave it to him, and he didn't bother me no more. You know what I'm saying? It's a mess out there. It's a real serious mess out there.
Now, did you know people like yourself who was doing similar things?
Yeah, well, you know, I know a few girls that's still out there that's still doing the same thing, but then a lot of them, they didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make it. Because every time we looked around, you know, we was like, where's Shay at? Oh, they found Shay dead at the hotel. You know. Or they found Tammy in the alley. They found Pat behind FD Stella. You know, it was always something. It was always something. You know what I'm saying? So if you made it out alive, thank God. Or if you made it out without AIDS, thank God. You know, because see, like you asked me, why would a man wanna go out and prostitute and he got a wife? But why would that same man want to do that and not use a condom? Because it don't matter to me. It didn't matter to a prostitute whether she used a condom or not. She out there to get her money. She gonna get hers by any means necessary. But seemed like he should have came with that condom. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even ask a motherfucker if he had one or not. Just gave him my money.
Right.
Let's do this and let me get the fuck on.
Right.
At this point, I had been out there for like 19 years. I ain't out here trying to make friends no more. I done made friends. I done lived with a nigga. I done had a nigga kidnap me. I done lived in the house with a nigga and his wife. I lived in an apartment with a nigga and his wife. I did all that by 19 years. Now it's give my motherfucking money. Let me go. I'm not trying to get acquainted with you or none of that. You want to do something for me? If you see me walking down the street, roll down the window and throw a bag at me. I catch you. And I had one, and that's what he was doing. I throw him my bag. He'll throw me my bag, and I throw him my panties. That's how it was. And that went on with him for like a whole 2 years. A whole 2 years. So, you know, you got like, if you out there, you got to be on your A game. You know, and it's like I feel so much better because I don't have to look and see who behind me down that dark alley. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to look. You know, I don't have to look to see if the decoy police gonna be out tonight or who they picking up tonight. You know, I don't have to wonder who I'm gonna get in the car with tonight and is they gonna hurt me. You know, I don't have to wonder that.
So did you walk the streets or more so have regular customers?
I had regular customers and I walked the streets. But I prefer to walk because I love the excitement.
What area in Detroit streets would you walk?
My favorite was Woodward and Finkel. Those are my two favorites. I would walk Linwood, Dexter, but Finkel and Woodward.
Now, what areas in Finkel? What area in Woodward?
Finkel between Linwood and Wyoming. That was my stretch.
Yeah.
And Woodward between Tuxedo and the Boulevard was my stretch.
And it just be guys just strolling, looking.
Just strolling and looking. Just strolling and looking. Listen to this. I had a guy on Finkel and Griggs Island. On Finkel and Eileen used to be a market, a supermarket. This guy was delivering bread to the market. So I told him, I was like, look, I'm trying to make some money. You trying to spend some? You know, this motherfucker he said, when I come back out the store, be standing here naked, and I give you $20. I said, okay. When he came back out the store, I was standing there naked. That bitch and gave me my money. But I bet you that bitch gave me my money before he left the store. Oh, you ain't finna... Nigga, I'm ready to call in on you. What you talking about? Oh, bitch, you a prostitute. You ain't got no phone. Nigga, I got a government phone. And I called the police and I called the bread company on his ass. That nigga gave me my money and got the fuck away from there. See, but you like I got shot. The bullet went in and came out. Fucking with a dope man. And he put me in front of the bullet. You see what I'm saying? Just a lot of things it was just a mess out there.
Why do you think people choose to use dope, drugs, or whatever? Like what is
it's a lot.
I mean, even with all the commercials and the advertisement, what makes a person,
want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot. Some people don't wait to use it until they get in their 30s or 40s because they ain't got nothing else better to do.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because they ain't got nothing else better to do. But then you got some people that get in it, like when they young, like I did, they have I had 3 motherfucking kids and no man. You know what I'm saying? And I had bills. And I was just a pink slip away from losing my house. It was all kinds of shit going on with me. Right. And then you have people that wasn't raised properly enough.
But you was raised properly.
Oh, I was raised properly. I wasn't raised. Out of all my mama kids, I was the only one that was on dope. I was raised good.
And you had a good middle class upbringing.
I had a good middle class upbringing. I had all the latest clothes going to school. I always had money. My mom and my... Well, see, he's my stepdad, but he was a hell of a ass stepdad. I mean, when I tell you a hell of a stepdad, he was a great stepdad. He made sure we had clothes. He made sure we had, at the age of 13 or 14, we had the biggest bedroom in the house, and we had canopy beds all in that motherfucker with the matching dressers and chesters, and, it was just, we grew up nice. We never had to hand me down this pair of socks or hand me down that pair of shoes. We never had to go through that. You know what I'm saying? But
your counterparts in the neighborhood did.
Yeah, counterparts did. Counterparts, they had to go through all that. And some of them didn't even wind up on dope. A couple of them wind up being a doctor. How the fuck did that happen?
Right.
And I should have been in that group.
Right.
But I wasn't.
Was it an allure or curiosity since you didn't grow up like that and you saw, your counterparts in the streets? You was like, man, what is that like? What is that like to hang with folks
in the fast line?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never even asked myself that. I just got in the fast line. I just got out in the lane with them.
It just seemed like the type of way you was raised was kind of boring and.
It could have been. I could have been boring. I could have been bored than a motherfucker. But when nobody else in the house bored, why was I bored? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then too, I asked myself, what made me so motherfucking different? I asked myself that. What made me so motherfucking different? My 2 sisters, they wasn't bored. My brother, he wasn't bored. He went to Lewis Business College. Mother sister's a teacher. Mother sister, she's a licensed beautician. Yeah, so, and her husband is an engineer. And we all grew up like next door. So what happened to me? You know what I'm saying? I asked myself, what happened to me? Why did I want to go over there with them? And why didn't I want to still be here with them? Yeah. But then too, it could have been, it wasn't time for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things happen for a reason and a season. And this is my season. And there's things that you can't and you will not question God about. And I don't have no questions.
So you have any advice for girls or women who may be curious about going on that side of the track?
Yeah, I have advice for males, females, um, cross genders, the gay community. If that's the life you want, I would suggest that that's not the life that you take.
Hmm.
Because that'll be the life that you won't come back from now. Because, see, listen, you got to realize this here, Lamar. When I was using, it was crack. This shit is fentanyl now. And it's killing people.
Hmm.
They putting it in these people crack.
Hmm.
And it's actually killing these people.
Hmm.
And these people see these other people die. And they still going about the shit. Let me tell you something. When I was getting high, they had this drug called Bazooka out. Bazooka had just came out. And it looked like ice. Listen at this here. It was killing everybody. You know, everybody wanted to try to find that dope. Even me. I couldn't even find none. It was killing me. And if you found some dope out there like that and you an addict, you want to try it too.
Hmm.
Now, in your mind,
Hmm.
you might be saying, shit, she a motherfucking fool. She think I'm going to try it and it's out here killing people. But you got to be in that frame of mind
Right.
in order to know
Hmm.
what I'm saying.
Right.
If that's what you doing
Hmm.
at that particular time and moment,
Hmm.
now keep this clear. If that's what you're doing
Right.
at this particular time and moment, and somebody say, hey man, they got that bazooka over there on such and such and such, well, by the time you hit a lick and get over there, it's gone. And you'll be like, man, I thought you said they had the shit over there. And you go like, man, it did. But you're not going to be able to find it. It's going to make you mad.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing at that particular time and moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's just, that's just not the life that you be, because you don't even know what you finna get to smoke now. You don't know if you finna smoke crack, or you don't know if you finna smoke a mix of fentanyl, or you don't know if you finna take some straight up fentanyl. You just don't know.
So was your life based off of just feeling good?
Feeling good.
That was like the your your main reason for existing, just to feel good.
Well, at one time, my main reason for existing was just to feel good. And then came along my first grandbaby.
Hmm.
And then that became one of my main reasons, one of my main objectives
Hmm.
was, damn, Janet, you out here, you get an income, and you're not getting no slouchy income neither. And you done had your first grandbaby. Where's that baby time at? Because you ain't give your kids no time. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't have a working relationship with my children at that time. You know, me and my daughters, we just got back together. And me and my son, we'd kick it every now and then, but I haven't seen him in over a year. Not take it back, in about a year. But we kick it time to time over the phone. But me and my grandkids, we got the best understanding in the world. Very good understanding in the world. But you got to, it's a process. And then if you're serious about this shit, you're gonna start taking classes because you're gonna want to know what made you do it. What really made you do it? It couldn't have been because my neighbor kept telling me to try it. Try it out, Jan, you'll like it. Because before that, I kept telling her, hell no, get that shit out of my face.
Right.
So it wasn't that.
Hmm.
You
You
know?
feel like you was lost in life, or lost a position in life, or just was feeling down? Was it just
I was
a
just
moment
depressed.
of weakness?
A moment of weakness. I would say a moment of weakness.
Hmm.
I would say a moment of weakness.
A moment of weakness where
It took me.
where peer pressure got to influence you.
Yeah. Yeah, and it took me to another place
Hmm.
where I don't ever want to go back again. And it's like I've known women that's been clean for 21 and 22 years and relapsed, and they okay with it.
Mhm.
I would kill myself. I would kill myself. I, I ain't got but 19 years come February the 8th, and if I blow that, I'll kill myself over that. It took me a long motherfucking time to get to that.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about I went through some stuff
Mhm.
to get to my 19 years. I'm talking about you do, oh my God. I went through a lot of stuff. And but I didn't relapse. And here's the good part. Relapse never hit my mind. Never. Never even thought about it. Hmm.
Well, I appreciate you talking about this today. We're gonna do more parts with Janet on fear versus feelings, about her addiction and recovery. So many people can learn from this, and she's going to inspire a lot of people, help a lot of people to get clean, or even not even start. People she will probably never meet, and know that she influenced through her life and through her testimony. Um, I hope you reach the people that you are designed to reach. I believe it's a plan out there. Um, which you have went through will not go in vain.
I just hope that I reach one person. If I don't reach another but just one person, then I've reached somebody. And thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, Janet. Appreciate you.